All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your Sunday Fun Day and Monday horoscope for the 14th and 15th of November 2021. We've got the moon moving into Aries around noon on Sunday. As the moon progresses through, now, moon, again, our emotional needs. Aries is all about self. In the simplistic way that we look at Aries, it's the infant of the zodiac. It's the baby, the child, fingers and toes, the tip of my nose is all I know, right? Going toward the light, going toward what feels good, going away from what feels bad. It's a simplistic, instinctual aspect of our chart and about who we are as individuals. But this deals with ourself as an individual. This is about us, who we are. And we have the moon, let me see here. This is actually coming into Monday. So, or at 4 o'clock in the morning on Monday, depending on where that is your time. So the moon's going to be here all day on Sunday Fun Day. And we're, creating a little trine here to the south node, which is amazing. Then the south node will move out on December 23rd, I believe is the date the south node is going to move into Scorpio, and the north node will move into Taurus. So we have one more circle around the zodiac of the moon creating these connections with the south node in Sagittarius. And this is about how we educate ourselves in the bigger picture of philosophy. Now we're going to get into a lot of stuff here in a moment. We're going to talk about some Alec Baldwin shooting on set. We're going to talk about this Travis Scott concert because this deals with self, accountability, square to Venus, what we value in our government, the bigger picture. Now, if let's get into it, right? And this is important because this isn't just about horoscope. Horus is the sun god of Egypt, right? Horoscope, this is our marker, the sun marker of where is the sun throughout the day's journey, or the journey of the sun's life. That's what horoscope means, you know. But this is more than just astrology. Astrology is looking at the planets and saying, oh, well, that's there right now. It's well, how is this reflecting and affecting us here in human life? This is a life scope, right? So it's like, well, what's going on in human life that's being reflected down here, and how do we use the astrology to help navigate this human life? Now, if I handed you a gun and said this gun is empty, there's blanks in it, point it at that person and shoot them. If you're not familiar with what's going on in my industry, in the film industry, Alec Baldwin has recently shot and murdered, unfortunately, someone. And it's very small circle. You know, the world is just small, so 6 degrees of separation. You know, this is someone that's in the very close in the community. We have the sun, we have Mercury, we have Mars in Scorpio. Scorpio deals with going to the underworld. The sun has been creating a trine over to Neptune as the abyss, as well as media, Neptune, you know, media, and getting lost in the abyss of, it's like it's confusing sometimes when we have this person on the television or news saying this person saying this, contradicting stories. You know, it's like, do you remember when Bill Clinton was in office and the whole Monica Lewinsky thing, and he had the audacity when asked about something, he's like, well, that depends on what the word is means. I'm pretty sure that's a quote. What the word is means in his little Arkansas, accent. It's like, are you kidding me? We're playing word games here. We're playing word games to create confusion and find ways to slide in between the cracks. Okay? It's not respectable, especially for a president. Now we have famous people, celebrities. So the first AD on set, without going in the entire story, handed Alec Baldwin a set. He aimed it and he shot it at someone and unfortunately murdered and injured somebody else. Murdered someone and injured somebody else. The Travis Scott concert recently, Travis Scott said, rush the stage. Everybody come down here. And people were piling on top of each other, and they ended up creating too big of a pile. People underneath, I believe 8 people passed away, and many more were injured. And this is very unfortunate. Now, we have a person of authority. This person of authority would be Alec Baldwin. The person of authority would be Travis Scott. who is saying, hey, it's like we understand as human beings. It doesn't even matter if you're a 16-year-old at a concert or, we have an understanding. There's a maximum Capricorn. There's a maximum capacity. This is a very Saturnian word, right? This room has a lot. We can fit the majority of people in the upper row. We can fit the most people down here in the middle row, and then a limited amount of people here in this. Most, ST, the largest capacity that can fit in the lower bowl is 250 people, 700, I don't know what it is, So the most amount of people, the maximum amount of people for safety reasons that we can fit in this space is this many. Now we have a person of authority has nothing to do with the venue. The venue creates these circumstances and says, what is safety? And as well as what is it, OSHA? I don't even know who helps create these guidelines. It says, okay, what is safe for maximum capacity of human beings to be involved in this area? So these regulations are set up, Capricorn structure. These rules are set up to ensure our safety. And now we have an individual, Aries, an individual that's going beyond that and saying, everybody rush the stage and come down here. And now there's consequence. We're going to tie this in a moment. Back to Alec Baldwin. We have a very young armorer. An armorer is on set as the person that hands the prop gun or the guns, that checks the weapons. There's usually a strand and order of how this works out. I'm going to grab the armorer is going to grab the gun, going to open it, going to show the first assistant director, this is an empty gun, or these are blanks. They're going to hand it to the assistant director. The assistant director and the armorer are going to show the talent on set. This is a very big deal for movie sets. I've been on a lot of sets that have guns, and safety is of number one concern, and especially when we're talking about lives at hand here and uncertainty. We don't want uncertainty. Now, that was a union movie, a union show. Alec Baldwin happened to be one of the producers on it, as well as he was the main actor on it, which received $1 million, according to the news, $1 million, which isn't far out. Like, I've been on plenty of shows where the actor gets $1 million and I get like $3,000 for the entire movie. It's like, okay, you're the big boss. You get all the money. So it's like, okay, so you're getting paid really, really well to be a part of this. You received a gun from somebody else. You did not check it, didn't check the gun yourself. And now in this scene, I'm saying to you, the authority, which would be the production, the set, shoot that gun and fire it. Now, both of these situations have a similar theme. We have a person of authority saying or doing something that is affecting other people, and other people got injured. So, where do we make the conscious decision for ourselves? Now, when I was in Peru and I put out this video, we talked about the doctor saying, yeah, it's okay, turn up the voltage, give them a little bit more juice. They answered the question wrong, and they're like, okay, they're at 5,000 volts, and this person is far beyond that at this point. We're beyond our awareness of thinking. Like, we're not thinking for ourselves because we're just saying, oh, okay, let's go do that. Accountability. Who is accountable for this? So it's just like, we haven't taken, I'm accountable for this body. I'm accountable for this physical being. So if somebody's saying, hey, let's go, here we go. Hey, put your hand in this bear trap for $1 and try to get that $1. It's a pretty easy thing to turn down. Okay, I'm going to put $500 in this bear trap. I'm going to raise my hands. I'm going to put $500 in this bear trap. Seems a little bit more tempting. I'm going to put $1 million in this bear trap. So now once we add the element of money, value, we're starting to put away our personal safety, our personal concerns, because we see something of value. And we're valuing that over valuing ourselves, overvaluing our independence, overvaluing our free thinking, this here, my friends, why I'm talking about all this isn't just to talk about, current situations, but this is the moon square to Venus. And Venus is about commitment. Venus is about what Venus in Capricorn is about commitment and what we value, and the authority as well. Do we value the authority? You know, if I handed you the gun and said this is safe and shoot the person next to you, we would both go to jail. We would both go to jail for manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter, perhaps. Will Alec Baldwin go to jail? Who's holding individuals accountable? The day that shot, the camera crew actually walked out on the set because they said this is unsafe working conditions. You're paying us pennies for the hours that we're working. We don't have professional. The armor was a big deal on set. You know, I'm not blaming that girl that did it, but it was like her second job. You know, when we're dealing with this, you know, it's like baby steps in all the ways. And what had happened on that particular set is production is like, well, look, we're worried about money. You know, we're trying to do this as cheap as possible. We're paying the big guns over here to Alec Baldwin, and we're paying our crew minimal. The camera crew walked out the morning of that shooting. The camera crew left. Now, had the rest of the crew not been so hungry, so thirsty for that dollar, for their career. There's a lot involved here. And it's not about greed or anything. Some people are just trying to survive. Some people are like, oh my God, thank God for this low budget movie that just came to my town, that I'm able to pay my bills and I'm able to do my craft, you know. But at the same time, we're waving our personal power, our personal intelligence away by subjecting ourselves to unsafe environments, to situations that are not for the better of ourselves. And then how are we accountable? Again, who are we holding accountable? And that's part of what's going on here. You know, these days it's like, okay, well, Alec Baldwin probably won't go to jail. Should he? Absolutely. You didn't check a firearm and you shot and killed someone. You shot and killed a daughter, a mother, a wife, a sister, a friend, because of your negligence, because we're trying to hurry up. Travis Scott, by his words saying, come do this, killed people. And then we have us. Where is my level of discernment? And we're getting to it. It's not on Tuesday. It's Tuesday, Wednesday morning, you know, when the moon's going to conjunct Eris, you know, this part of this discernment. So we have a lot to learn over the next couple days about ourselves. What are we willing to do? The more that we're willing to stretch and to reach, the more we're willing to say, yeah, I'm going to put my hand in there, because the risk to reward, to me to grab that $1 million out of the bear trap is worth it. The risk for me to come down here to rush the stage, the risk to reward, is it worth it? Is it not? Is it worth listening to somebody else that's saying something that goes against my better judgment? And then further again, how do we, I don't even know if it's a question. It's about accountability. Okay, every dollar is a vote, something we've talked about on this channel many times. Every dollar is a vote. Do you vote for Coca-Cola? Do you vote for orange juice? Do you vote for, you know, everything that we're spending a dollar on? Are we buying a Travis Scott album? Are we buying Alec Baldwin's movies? Are we buying, you know? But on a deeper level, when we say, you know, if that entire crew walked out that day, if that entire crew said, this is unsafe, I'd rather go collect unemployment, you know, because of these, that's not even an option if you're walking out on a set, but I mean, it is a union show, all kinds of bylaws. Anyway, you know, it's like, if we're taking ourselves and saying like, no, this is wrong, we can't do this, I have to pull myself out of this situation, you know, that risk to reward. Holding others accountable for their actions is important, especially when we know it would be to us. There's no question in my mind, in my heart, in all the laws and all the judges of the world. If it were me that was handed that gun and pulled the trigger, I would be in prison for manslaughter. We, the people, are the votes. Now, this isn't a thing to say, let's get Alec Baldwin in jail. But this is like saying, look, we have how we're dealing with celebrities, how we're dealing with professional athletes, how we're dealing with stars and their exemptions from law. They're not above us because we give them our votes because we like their music. We give them our votes because we like their stories that they're telling on their movies. We give them our votes, our dollars, because we like the clothes that they make or their beauty line or whatever. And then it's just like, well, once we hit this above the line, these people or individuals seemingly become exempt from the same laws, the same consequences that regular people like you and I are for. And it's like we collectively are the government. All of these votes are the government. And we have to make sure as individuals that we are holding not only ourselves accountable, but those that are above us in the power of authority. That's what this moon conjunct Chiron square to Venus is. It's like, I can't look at a judge that would free Alec Baldwin and then lock up, Steve Smith around the corner from me. I can't look at that judge in respect. I can't give him Capricorn is respect. This is your reputation. It's like we can't give you that credit for this decision. So we have to learn to heal. We have to learn to heal this part of ourselves that seems powerless. Every dollar is a vote. Our thoughts, our words, our actions, our votes, and how we're choosing to live. All right, friends. It's our Sunday fun day. Monday into Monday horoscope. Discernment for self. Holding ourselves accountable. Making sure that we are the ones leading by example. And if it's coming down to making the right decision for the greater good, and not being saying like, and it sucks to being put in, I've been in there plenty of times to been putting in a position where it's like, I don't want to be in this position, but it's about, I need to survive and make money, and that's certainly what this is partially about, at least with some of the crew members on that show. They need to survive and make money. So they're willing to put themselves in an environment that's not safe. Okay. So now how do we stop the authority, the production companies, hold the production companies accountable, hold the unions accountable, hold the venue accountable, hold the artist accountable for what's the domino effect that they've created. This affects everybody. And we're not powerless to do something about it. And over the next couple of days, we get to tap into that. And we get to find our own strength and our own power and to determine how we collectively, because as well here, let me come back for a quick second. The moon and Chiron are sextile to Saturn, which is about the collective. And this is about a vision for the future. Is that where the vision of the future that we're going? Oh, if you're a celebrity, you're exempt from murdering people? But you, average Joe, average Jane, well, you're going to go to prison. Is that the future we're creating? No, absolutely not. So we're going to be figuring out a lot of information and new laws. Things are going to change. Again, we've got another month, a month and 7 days here of these nodes. We got eclipse season coming up here. We've got eclipse early on Friday morning. It's hit the fan, and it's a big wake up call for a lot of us. And again, giving that power away and taking back what's ours. Taking back our intelligence, our peace of mind. All right, this is enough out of me. My friends, have a great Sunday fun day into your Monday. I love you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.